So we got our first trade of the NBA offseason. The Thunder and Lakers have completed a trade where the Lakers will receive Dennis Schröder for Danny Green and the 28th pick in this year's draft. Now, let's get into my thoughts on this trade. This trade's a huge win for the Lakers. I think this addressed one of their key needs, which was that they needed a ball handler. They need a ball handler because in those non-LeBron minutes when he's off the floor, you need someone to handle the ball. And they got him. They got Dennis Schröder, who's really good. A Sixth Man of the Year candidate this year. I thought he should have won. He didn't. He finished like third or something like that in voting. But I do think this is a huge win for the Lakers. Mainly, Schroeder is going to be really good for them. He's going to be a really good starting point guard. Mainly because of his ability to score the ball, and basically just because they got a starting caliber point guard in this league, which is a huge win for them. I do think the one concern after this trade is that they might need a little more perimeter help. I don't think Schroeder's a great perimeter defender, and I do think they need someone like that in free agency. They do have their mid-level still. It's like $9.3 million, if I got that correct. They have the full mid-level, so hopefully they do get someone that has some good perimeter defense. Now let's get to the Thunder side of this. So for the Thunder, I thought this trade was somewhat of a win for them. I do think they could have gotten a little bit more for Schroeder. I would have had, I don't know what the offers were, but I would have had the Lakers throw in Kuzma. I do think this is a win for them. Danny Green, he wasn't bad for the Lakers last year. He got a lot of hate because he wasn't built up as he was to be, especially because he didn't shoot the ball as well as he did in Toronto the year before. He isn't as bad as people build him up to be. I do think he could be really good for them in the sense that he will play good defense, and I do think maybe his shot comes back a little bit better, but I do think that shot's not going to be fully there. But for the Thunder, I do think this is a bit of a win for them just because they got a rotational player and a pick. It's a late first-round pick, but it still is a first-round pick. So there is that. This isn't that. I would say this isn't a huge win for the Thunder, but this is a pretty good win for the Thunder in my estimation. Now I'm going to get into who I think the Thunder might pick with the 28th pick. Still take Robert Woodward, who's been slotted at that spot by a lot of mock drafts when the Lakers had the pick. Obviously don't anymore because the Thunder have it now. He's a good 3-and-D guy. There's not a lot of room for growth there, so I doubt that he still gets taken at 28. But the Thunder, they could use a couple 3-and-D guys. You could always use 3-and-D in this league. They could definitely take Woodward here. But I do think they're going to take Isaiah Stewart, and I'll get into why they'll take him here. I think they're going to take Isaiah Stewart here because he shows a lot of promise. His main negative is that he can't shoot the three ball right now, and that's pretty important in the NBA now. He's kind of like a traditional big man. He's really good offensively in the paint, but he doesn't need that three-point shot. And that's why I do think they're going to take him here. Even though it's a little bit of a reach in my opinion, I think he's more slotted for that early second round pick area. But I do think this would be a pretty good use of that 28th pick by the Thunder. And that's really all I got in this video. Like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.